50, 60, 70 plus, I bet you'd like your best chance to beat the #1 cause of death in the United States, which is, now listen up, both men and women, heart disease. But as your good timing would have it, February is American Heart Month, and February 7th is designated as National Wear Red Day. Hi, I'm Kevin, your loving 50 plus host, and I'm wearing red in honor of National Wear Red Day to help bring awareness to heart disease. The good news is you can definitely lower your risk of cardiovascular disease, infirmity, and death with some simple tips. In this loving 50 plus episode, let's look at what you can do. Come on, hey, give yourself a chance. We'll list these tips with the acronym PREVENT. Look at this high-tech stuff. To help us remember what we can do to help reduce our risk of heart disease. Now, every now and then I can use a little help remembering stuff. Now later in this loving 50 plus episode, we'll add an extremely important tip to help prevent heart disease, so stick around. Okay, let's start with P, physical activity. We humans were not designed to sit. Archaeological digs never turn up a Neanderthal lazy boy recliner. Early ancestors hunted giant mammoths, woolly rhinos, and other big guys, and keep in mind there were no McMammoth burger drive-thrus back then. It just took a lot of physical activity to chase down a Neanderthal Happy Meal. They also foraged fruits, nuts, roots, and other plant sources, which took a lot more energy than to stroll through our local Kroger or Aldi's. Nowadays, we only have to punch up a few buttons on our cell phones and have mammoth-sized meals of, name it, just about anything to eat delivered right to our doors. People used to be a lot more active in daily life. Heck, when I was a kid, back in the olden days, our incidental everyday physical activity was much more than now. We walked 5 miles to school, all uphill, played outside during recess, walked back home after school, still all uphill, mowed the lawn, raked the leaves, and ran around outside playing sports and kicked a can until the sun went down. This continued until the first Pizza Hut opened and modern civilization began. That's not how we live now. Many of us are either sitting at a desk or behind the wheel of a car, truck, or bus for work. Commuting is more sitting, unless you're running late and find yourself hanging on the way. Get yourself home, and it's TV, Facebook, computer games, YouTube. Dial the phone to get that pizza delivered. There's always a coupon around. The house clean, the lawn mowed. If you're retired, chances are you know more about what that Kelly Clarkson is up to than your own grown kids. With TV and YouTube and Facebook to catch up on, and sports, lots of sports, there's always a lot of sitting filling up our days. Unless you're a nurse or a doc or a medical tech. If so, go sit down, rest those feet. Now the good news is, maintaining your healthy, strong heart and lowering your risk of heart disease is a result of physical activity, fun stuff, chasing kids, joining friends for a charity run walk, walking along the beach, walking around the block, walking on a treadmill while watching TV and YouTube and Facebook, dancing with your love. They're all about experiencing the great feelings of physical activity. 20 to 30 minutes of physical activity, something every day, is doable. Now the R in PREVENT is for resilience. And I mean developing a resilience to stress. Now we can look at stress as just minor annoyances we all encounter throughout the day. That guy is driving erratically, I'll be careful. Or let them blow up into you like, you cut me off, why are you picking on me, you bum? I'll get you for that. Now how you handle those moments, how resilient you are to letting other people's rudeness or problems that come up at work negatively affect your own life, can have a huge impact on your health. Now, research don't really say directly that stress causes heart disease. There's not enough data, but we can find agreement that stress is a debilitating factor that can contribute to heart disease by causing unhealthy behaviors as coping mechanisms. Work is so boring. Grab a cigarette. Those customers are driving me nuts. Stop after work for a few shots of liquid relaxation. I'm exhausted. Plop on the couch with a big bag of chips. Obviously, not good coping mechanisms for stress. Now, a simple way to increase your resilience to stress is to refrain from internalizing negative occurrences in your life. In other words, don't let it bother you. That guy in traffic didn't single you out to cut you off. He's just a bad, selfish driver. With a crabby customer or a crabby boss, just as one apple can spoil the whole barrel, one unreasonable customer can affect your whole day. Don't let it. Do all you can to help him out and give an extra smile to the next guy. Now, how many days until retirement? Take a deep breath, let it out slowly. Think about your new grandchild, your next vacation. Say a prayer. Don't let the crazy outside world disrupt your calm, serene inside world. Now, the first E in prevent is for end, as in end the hold of smoking on your life. Smoking is a killer. Don't just take it from me. The esteemed National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute states that smoking is a major risk factor for heart disease. And we know that heart disease can kill you. So whatever effort it takes, no matter how many times you've tried before, try to quit again. Ask your doctor for advice. Talk to a friend who quit. Don't let a heart attack be the reason you quit. Do it for your family. Do it for you. Now, I trained quite a few smokers over the years. Even back in the 70s, many of the business people I trained were smokers. I remember a guy who would get off the exercise cycle at the health club and go out in the lobby to light up. One of the other instructors joined him. It drove me nuts, and for a time I didn't want to train him. But finally I decided it would definitely help smokers if they continued to exercise. Now, often over time, smokers would come to realize that exercise made them feel better. We'd start off with weight training, slow and easy. Their bodies responded to physical activity like anyone else, and they felt their bodies becoming stronger and firmer. Many times they told me they were actually smoking less. So you don't have to quit smoking first before you start an exercise or better nutrition program. Start now. Now, here's the thing. It's not only cigarette smokers that experience an increase in the risk of heart disease. We know that secondhand smoke contributes as well. If you live with a smoker, do whatever you can to convince them to quit. If not for themselves, then for you. Now, as a final important note, be aware that when I'm talking about the terrible effects of smoking on your health, I'm definitely not just talking about cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes, cigars, smoking or eating marijuana, vaping, and even hookahs all put unhealthy toxins in your body, and they can all raise the risk of heart attacks. Look it up. Google the American Heart Association. Now, as that wonderful group, the Platters, sung, when your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. But that's it. Now, our next letter, V, is for our delicious, nutritious vegetables. It's been said vegetables are nature's medicine pills. Well, research shows that eating vegetables and fruits can help reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. Oh, now you're paying attention. Many people tell me that as adults, they actually kind of like the vegetables they spurned as kids. All those times you kind of rolled the peas around the plate, trying to spread them out so it looked like you ate some. Try to disguise the taste with gravies and sauces. And I've also found that for many people, we have trouble eliminating certain foods from their everyday meals. Simply adding 3 to 4 cups of vegetables each day resulted in a reduction in the portions of 2 cheesy pasta or supersized greasy burgers they eat. The vegetables, with all that nice fiber, made them feel fuller. So less heart-clogging stuff, more heart-healthy, nutrient-packed good stuff. Those are the same nutrients that have been shown to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and many other potential ailments. Now, I've got a glass container on my desk right now filled with asparagus, red peppers, carrots, green beans, broccolis, and even Chinese pea pods. Lots of variety. And no, I wasn't up last night rinsing, slicing, and dicing. I simply opened my freezer, took out a 1 pound bag that I picked up from the grocery store, dumped the veggies into a bowl with a little bit of water, covered, and microwaved to thaw. Absolutely delicious, no added sugar or salt. Now, our next letter to help reduce our risk for heart disease may be a shocker. It's E for exercise. Exercise can greatly reduce your risk for heart disease. Now, wait a minute, Kev. Exercise? You just did P for physical activity. Give me a break. Let me explain. Okay, exercise is physical activity, and you can think of physical activity as exercise. But for all our list of tips to prevent heart disease, keeping your body active and your blood pumping is hugely important. So you can think of the times you garden, walk a distance, play basketball with your kids as heart-healthy physical activity. But for many of us, especially those in the frozen north, physical activity can be tough to do year-round. For those times, it's wise to have an exercise program. Your program should be considered after first touching base with your doc. She can help you with cautions to help identify any issues you got to be aware of. Get her okay first. After your visit, take advantages of the resources available to you. Many hospitals have health clubs as part of their services with personal trainers. Or ask your doc if a visit to a physical therapist would be recommended. Get a safe start. Next, get the cobwebs off that treadmill or exercise cycle and make it a healthy habit to do 10 minutes in the morning. It's a great way to get the blood pumping. It'll clear your mind better than a glazed donut. Don't increase your minutes until you can easily and consistently do an easy 10 minutes every other day for 2 weeks. Then try 15 minutes. If you start to miss days, go back to 10 minutes until it's as much of a habit as brushing your teeth. On the other days of the week, put an old, disco aerobics tape on. Pull out those leg warmers that are probably in the bottom of the sock drawer and go to town. I'm not talking to you, Joe. Excuse me. Or try a local health club with your spouse or friend. If you hear a lot of grunting when you walk in the door and you just want to take an easy class and a few machines, go somewhere else. If you want to train heavy and you don't hear any grunting when you walk in the door, just some soothing flute sounds, go somewhere else. Join the health club that's more in line with what you like. Start with a trial membership. Some people find it convenient to pop into a health club before work. During the day, you meet a lot of retired folks. After work can get busy. But the camaraderie of like-minded people, professional equipment, and trainers can really be a welcome addition to your week. Now, it's a wonderful fact of life that the same cardiovascular and strength-building activities, along with a sensible eating plan, can help prevent heart disease, can also reduce excess body fat if that's what you want. Okay, now we're at the N in prevent, which stands for never, ever, never say or even think, I can't do what I used to. Never. Unless you were once a professional basket player, no, you can still have a great time shooting baskets. Unless you were a scratch golfer, no, you still got your swing down. Unless you're an Olympic swimmer, no. The great Diana Nyad, you got to look her up, was the first person to swim from Cuba to the U.S. at age 64, 110 miles. No shark cage. So let me tell you, the thought, I can't do what I used to, will cloud your mind and stop you from trying the hiking, biking, swimming, playing sports that you used to. And that's not a good thing if you want to lower your risk for heart disease. The fact is, you can enjoy many of the same things you always enjoyed. If you replace, I can't do what I used to with, boy, I'd sure like to do what I used to, it's the desire to try that will fill your calendar with interesting things to do. If you don't try, each day is just another blank box with a big X through it. So first, pencil in your physical activity on your calendar. For example, on Monday, write, walk for 15 minutes. Wednesday, 15 minutes. Friday, 15 minutes. Schedule your activity beforehand like you would anything else. Do your walking like it's a prescription from your doctor. I'm sure he'd agree. So let's start with Tuesday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, write in 15-minute strength training. Next time I look at your refrigerator, I want to see all your activity calendar squares filled. Now, at long last, we've reached our final letter T, as in take time to get your numbers. Make regular appointments with your doctor. Go in, I can't say you read the magazines, they don't have them anymore. Go in and get your numbers. Blood pressure, easy. A blood sample to check your cholesterol and triglyceride levels. A tiny poke. Stop being a baby. You'll get a sucker if you're good. That tiny poke could save your life. Your doc may suggest other tests as needed. Later, they'll explain the results. Taking the time for regular doctor visits to keep tabs on your health numbers can definitely help reduce your risk of heart disease. That's so important during National Heart Month and throughout the year. Now, I promised you a very important tip, so let's add the letter S. Is it up there? To make it prevents heart disease, and the all-important S is for symptoms. Now, I mentioned the number one cause of death for both men and women is heart disease, but both can sometimes experience different symptoms. Both men and women often feel chest discomfort, pressure, pain, about what you'd expect. Symptoms can also include discomfort or pain in the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the back, the arms, the stomach, shortness of breath, nausea, lightheadedness. Women can also experience symptoms that you normally wouldn't think of as a heart attack, including anxiety, upset stomach, feeling unusually tired or weak, in addition to the other symptoms we mentioned. Bottom line, if you know yourself, if you're feeling out of sorts, unusual pains, or the other body discomforts we mentioned, don't wait. The number one thing in your favor is quickly getting medical attention. Tell someone. Don't think you're inconveniencing them. Get help quickly. If someone is having symptoms, get them help quickly. Lives we care about depend on it. Now, for a lot of great information, you really have to visit the caring folks with the American Heart Association at where else? www.heart.org. Now, thanks for watching our 9th Loving 50 Plus episode. I appreciate you being here. You're welcome to join us at Loving 50 Plus, and please click subscribe to keep us going. If I don't get subscribers, they'll probably toss me off YouTube. Then you'll have to go back to scrolling those adorable cat and dog videos. If you have a minute, leave a comment. What you want for your body, for your life, is what Loving 50 Plus is all about.